Hello, sports fans and Colonel Nation. Welcome to Ballard Robinson Field at Rebels Stadium, the host of tonight's action between your Bourbon County Colonels and the home Boyle County Rebels. It is indeed senior night for the Rebels. This is a district matchup, the last district matchup of the year for both teams. Right now, your Bourbon County Colonels are 4-4 on the season. They are 1-1 in district play, so 500 overall as well as 500 in district play. The Rebels are 8-0 on the season and 2-0 in district play. Big matchup here for the Colonels. Bit overmatched is what a lot of the predictors are saying, but it is high school football, so you never know what's going to come out of it. So on the season, some stats to get you up to date for those that don't know. As I said, the Colonels 4-4 on the season, 1-1 in district play. They have scored 165 points on the season while giving up 210, rushed for 989 yards while giving up 1,808 yards on the ground on the season. Through the air, the Colonels have thrown for 1,094 yards and given up 911 passing yards on the season. In their game last week, the Colonels against Lexington Catholic, they rushed the ball for 185, only let Lexington Catholic rush for 78. However, the Colonels only threw 132 yards and allowed Lexington Catholic to throw for 366 in that 48-15 loss last Friday night at home on senior night against the Knights of Lexington Catholic. Some statistical leaders for the Colonels so far on the year. Clay Estes is the leading quarterback that is left on the team. Jake Brodden is no longer with the team. So the leading passer for the Colonels is Clay Estes. On the year, he is 16 for 29, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. He's thrown for 192 yards. Leading rushers for the Colonels, Naquan Bone Joyce has 31 attempts for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Sidney, 54 carries for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns, while Justin Blankenship also has 30 carries for 182 yards and 2 touchdowns. LaDamian Landrum, 39 carries, 153 yards, and 1 touchdown. Dylan Kirk also has a score on the year, has only ran the ball 6 times for 83 yards. Another running back that has been touching the ball a lot as of late is the freshman Cameron Smoot. Sophomore Cameron Smoot. I do apologize. He's rushed the ball on the season 18 times for 59 yards, but has been carrying a bit more of the workload in the last couple games. Top receivers on the year, A.J. Joyce, 17 receptions, 400 yards, 3 TDs. Kagan Heflin, 21 receptions for 258 yards and 4 TDs. Parker Estes also has 13 receptions for 123 yards and no touchdowns. In the Colonels game last week, your statistical leaders, Clay Estes, played most of the snaps at quarterback. He went 12 for 20 on the day with 2 interceptions and 73 yards. Justin Blankenship went 4 for 7 with 59 yards, no touchdowns, and no interceptions. Leading rushers last week, Dylan Kirk had 4 carries for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. Naquan Bone Joyce, 7 carries, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Justin Blankenship also carried the ball 7 times for 38 yards, while Clay Estes added 6 carries for 20 yards. Leading receivers last week, as usual, A.J. Joyce, 7 receptions, 67 yards. There were no passing touchdowns on the day, but Kagan Heflin also added 6 receptions for 44 yards for the Colonels. Your defensive leaders for the Colonels, leading tackler for the team is Dylan Kirk with 76 total tackles, 10.5 of those for loss and 5 for sacks. Javier Arquea has also added 67 total tackles, 4 for loss, and no sacks. Justin Blankenship, 44 tackles, 4 of those for loss, and 2 sacks. Shamar Myers also with 36 tackles, 4.5 of those being for loss. And that is a statistical recap of what the Colonels have done thus far on the year. Now for the opponent, Boyle County. As I said, they are 8-0 on the season. They are 2-0 in district play. They have beaten both Lexington Catholic and Anderson County, the other 2 district opponents. The Colonels did beat Anderson County, but lost to Lexington Catholic last week. For Boyle County's statistics, give me 1 second here, having a little difficulties. Just bear with me. On the season for Boyle County, they have scored 411 points while only giving up 77. They have rushed for 1,450 yards while only giving up 412 yards on the ground. They have also thrown for 1,954 and only given up 858 yards through the air. Their quarterback, Mr. Reed Lanter, one of the big players to watch for Boyle County tonight. He is indeed a senior, number 19. He has thrown the ball 136 times, completing 100 of those, only thrown 1 interception, while throwing 21 touchdowns and 1,823 yards. Leading rushers for the Rebels, there are a few of them to note. The top 2 are Will McDaniel, who is a junior, number 20. He has ran the ball 60 times for 448 yards and 8 touchdowns on the year. Andrew Sacco, a senior, has also ran the ball 58 times for 334 yards and 5 touchdowns. Please excuse me while we do the national anthem.
Let's bow our heads first, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for these wonderful senior class that you give us. We thank you for each one of these young men. We thank you for the great game of football. We ask you that you will watch over this game, that you will keep every young man safe. And God, we ask you that you will use it for your glory. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
All right. So the leading rushers, as I said, Andrew Sacco has ran the ball 58 times for 334 yards and 5 touchdowns. Also adding 9 touchdowns on the year is Landon Bartleson. He's ran the ball 32 times for 272 yards. Leading receivers for the Rebels, the most notable one, Reese Smith, kind of their do-all guy, receiver and defensive back. He has 33 receptions for 963 yards and 13 touchdowns, averaging around 120 yards receiving per game. Other receivers to note, Cameron Yates has 16 receptions for 241 yards and a score. Cole Lanter has 17 receptions for 205 yards and 4 touchdowns. Riley Colwick has added 2 touchdowns. Those come in on 12 receptions for 199 yards, and the other receiver to touch the end zone is Luke Shepperson, 13 receptions for 148 yards and 1 touchdown. Their leading defensive players for the Rebels, leading tackler for the team, there's actually 2 that are tied with 47 total tackles apiece. One of those, Wilson Kelly, the other, Azarius Roller. Kelly has those 47 tackles, 16 of them being for loss and 1 sack, while Roller has 6 tackles for loss and 1 sack as well. Andrew Sacco has also added 42 tackles, 6 of those being for loss and 2 sacks, while Hayden Bottoms has added 36 tackles, 7 of them being for loss and 1 sack. The other defensive player with over 30 tackles on the season is Will McDaniel, 35 tackles and 1 of those being for a loss for McDaniel on the season. So statistically speaking, this is a team with a very balanced attack. 1,450 yards on the ground, 1,954 through the air. Defensively, they shut people down pretty well. Also, only giving up a total of less than 1,300 yards, both through the air and on the ground. Total yards under 1,300 for the Rebels defense. In their last game, that one being against Anderson County, a 52-7 win on the road at Anderson County. The Rebels held serve. Obviously, 52-7 is a big blowout for the Boyle County Rebels. They handled Anderson County very well. In that game, they ran the ball for 120 yards while giving up 123 on the ground. They also threw the ball for 169 while only allowing 37. Those numbers do seem quite low, so check the stat guy, not me. That is the stats that I've been given. So Reed Lander, according to this, went 12 for 16, 169 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the day. Just about a minute and a half from kickoff here. Having some technical difficulties with my stats, so may not be able to give you the rest of the stats for the last game, as I'm still waiting for a response here. But nonetheless, this Rebels team is one that many have predicted, and deservingly so, to be a team very much in contention for the 4A state championship. It's a team that is coached by Chuck Smith. He is in his 19th season here at Boyle County. He did take a break from 2005 to 2014, where he coached at the University of Kentucky. His all-time record at Boyle County is 205 wins, 44 losses. He did win 5 straight state championships from 99 through the 2003 season. The first 2 of those were in 2A, last 3 in 3A. He also went to the 3A championship in 2004, where he lost the game, and then he took his break and went to UK. He did come back in 2014, and since then has won a 4th 3A state championship. That one in 2017. He also lost in the 3A semifinals last year. So yet to win a 4A state championship, but he arguably is on the verge of doing that this year, as this is a very good Boyle County Rebels team. The Rebels are set to kick off. Back deep to return for the Colonels is going to be, looks like A.J. Joyce along with Heflin. And Bone Joyce back deep as well. We're about to get this game underway. The ball is kicked away. It's going to be fielded by Heflin around the 5-yard line. He's going to cut up the middle, tries to dance around a little bit. He's going to be corralled there by a host of Rebel tackles who will push him back. They will stop his forward progress. Looks like they're going to spot this on the 16-yard line, where the Colonels will take over 1st and 10. And it is going to be a sloppy game. It's raining pretty heavy, has been since well before the game started. Doesn't look like it's going to slow up anytime soon. And it's going to be Clay Esterson at quarterback. He takes the snap. Looks like a miscommunication in the backfield. He does roll out and try to throw it right. It is incomplete. Will be 2nd and 10 from the 16 for the Colonels. Estes going to be in the gun again. Looks like he's got Smoot behind him in the backfield, and now moves him to his right. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand this to Smoot, who gets to the line and then is hit hard and brought down by a host of Boyle County defenders. Looks like they're going to give him no gain on the play, as he did just get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now for the Colonels. The game just got underway. 11-13 and counting in the first quarter. Estes going to be in the gun. He's got Smoot behind him. He now moves him to his right. He's going to take the snap. He's rolling right. And he's getting chased down. He makes out of there. He breaks back to the left, and he's got a lot of grass. Puts his foot in the ground, and he is hit hard by number 24. It's going to be Landon Barlson with the big hit there. Looked like Clay might have been able to make something happen, but he ends up only gaining a couple on the run. So that does bring up a 4th and 8 for the Colonels. They will be set to punt it away. Back deep to return. And we have a flag on the play. And it's going to be encroachment against the Rebels that will make it a 4th and 3 for the Colonels. And Carter Tipton still on the field, so the Colonels still will punt it away. Smart decision here as they're backed up deep in their own territory. And back deep to return for the Rebels is Riley Kowick. Tipton going to catch the punt, and this is a low punt. It's going to bounce just past the 50 to the 45 and to the 44-yard line, where the Rebels will take over 1st and 10. So first drive for the Colonels, not much doing, as they were only able to gain 2 yards on 3 plays. And we'll see if the defense can try to stifle this high-powered Boyle County offense here in the rain at Rebel Stadium. It's going to be Reed in at quarterback, Reed Lanter. He's going to come out in the gun. He's got one running back behind him. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it to that running back, and he's got lots of room around the left side. He's going to get past the first down marker. It's going to be a gain of 11 yards before he is brought down. It's going to be Cordell Fidelis on the tackle, but good blocking by the Boyle County attack there, as he had plenty of room before a defender was able to get to him. Lanter going to be in the gun again. This time he's going to take the snap and roll right, and now he's going to set up for a pass. He is pressured. He rolls back to the left, and he's got lots of room over there. And he's going to try to put his foot in the ground. He cuts back across the field again to the right, and he's going to puts his foot in the ground again and makes another man miss. He's going to get this ball all the way down to the 12-yard line. And it didn't even look like he was running full speed there. He was running probably about 75% of his speed potential, or so it looked. Just kept continuing to put his foot in the ground and cutting back across the field one way and then the other. And that was number 15 on the run. That was Reese Smith. Lanter going to be in the gun. He's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it to his running back again, who goes backwards, and he's not going to get back to the line. This is going to be a loss of a yard. That is Sacco on the carry. Tackled in the backfield. Looked like Dakota Smith may have been the first man to get there. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 11 for the Rebels. Ball on the 15-yard line. Lanter in the gun. He's going to take the snap, rolls to his right. He's going to throw it right. Has a man over there who catches it and puts his foot in the ground and gets up into the end zone for a Rebel touchdown. So 8:03 to go in the first quarter, and the Rebels strike first. Rebels will kick the extra point. And it's going to be Jackson Smith, the sophomore, on to kick the extra point. Cole Lanter to hold. And the extra point is good. So with 8:03 to go in the first quarter, your score, Boyle County 7, Bourbon County 0. Set to kick the ball away for the Rebels is Jackson Smith. Back deep to return for the Colonels is Heflin and the Joyce cousins, Bone and AJ. It's going to be kicked away, and this one's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. So the Colonels will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. And this is a matchup of big experience difference as well, as I talked about in the pregame. Chuck Smith in his 19th season, Bourbon County's head coach David Jones. This is his first year at Bourbon County. His 4th year as a head coach overall. Right now, his cumulative overall record here at Bourbon, he's 4-4, but overall he is 18-20, as he went 14-16 in his 3 seasons at Phelps as the head coach there from 2016 to 2018. Clay Esser's going to take the snap. He's going to hand it to Smoot, who is thrown down in the backfield. It's going to be, looks like a loss of 5 on the play. So the Colonels will set up here for 2nd and 15 on their own 15-yard line. That's just going to come out in the gun. Looks like he has Smoot behind him in the backfield. 2 receivers out to each way. He throws it out to the right to A.J. Joyce. It is complete, but he is brought down right away. And that's going to be for no gain on the play, so it will bring up 3rd and 15 for the Colonels. Colonel's going to come out in the gun once more. This is going to take the snap. He's dropping back. He's pressured. He rolls out to his left. He's going to try to get rid of it off the fingertips of Heflin and incomplete. And that last reception was actually good for a gain of 3 for Joyce. Carter Tipton will come on to punt the ball away. Tipton will catch the ball and punt it away. Nice high punt. It's going to bounce at the 40. And we'll bounce back. We'll stay right there. That's where the Rebels will take over 1st and 10 on the Bourbon County 40-yard line. Boyle County comes out in the gun. No running backs in the backfield. He's going to take the snap. He's going to drop back. Throws it across the middle and incomplete.
Pass intended for number 8, Luke Shepperson.
It was intended for Shepperson on the play. Incomplete there for the Rebels. Brings up 2nd and 10 from the Bourbon County 40-yard line. Lanter going to come out in the gun again. He sends a motion man now. Takes a snap, and he's going to hand it off to his running back, who cuts around the left side. He's got plenty of room as he dances his way and then makes a couple people follow along with him all the way down to the 15-yard line, where it will be a 1st and 10 for the Rebels. And that was Will McDaniel on the carry, one that I had talked about in the pregame introduction as I talked about some of the big players the Rebels had. Will McDaniel, one of those to watch out for. Lanter comes out in the gun once again, sends a man in motion once more. He's got a running back to his left. He's going to take the snap and hand it to that running back, who cuts around the right side and all the way waiting for the spot. This may be a touchdown. It's going to be just short. Looks like he got it down to the 1-yard line. And I take that back. Indeed, they do call it a touchdown. So that makes your score 13-0 as the Rebels come on for the extra point. Will be Jackson Smith with Cole Lanter holding for the extra point. And they're going to go for 2 here, and Cole Lanter is going to take the direct snap and run it in. So the 2-point conversion is good. That makes your score Boyle County 15, Bourbon County 0, with 5:30 to go in the first quarter. Jackson Smith will be set to kick this ball away. Rebels getting on the board quick and fast, in a hurry. In the rain here on senior night, trying to make this game as ugly as the weather. Ball will be kicked away. This one's going to be fielded by A.J. Joyce on the 5-yard line. He's going to run it up the middle, then cuts out to the right. Makes a man miss. He's dancing back to the left now. Cuts up the middle of the field. Makes another man miss, and then he's finally brought down. Looked like he might have had a glimpse of daylight there, but he is going to be brought down around the 22-yard line where the Colonels will take over 1st and 10. And it looks like the spot they gave him is the 23, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Colonels. So we'll see if the Colonels can get something going on the offensive side of the ball to try to match this Boyle County attack that is having their way with the Colonel defense. S is going to come out in the gun. He's going to take the snap. And he's going to drop back. He's going to throw it out right, and too high for A.J. Joyce on that one. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Colonels. So throwing here early, looking like a struggle for the freshman quarterback. We'll see what the Colonels come with on their 2nd down play. That's just going to come out in the gun. He's got one back deep behind him. He's going to take the snap. He's going to roll right away. And he's going to throw it out to the right. Had a man out there, but threw it too far out of bounds. Intended for Fidelis on the play. It's going to be another incompletion for Estes here. Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Colonels. Ball on their own 23-yard line. So offensive struggles in the rain for the Colonels, while their defense struggles to slow the Boyle County attack down. Holding penalty added to the woes of the Colonels. It's a 10-yard penalty, so we'll make it 2nd and 20 rather than 3rd and 10. Ball on their own 13-yard line. And this ball was actually marked off a lot more than that. I'm not sure about that, but on the reverse is Heflin.
Run by number 13, Kenyon Heflin, pushed out of bounds by number 14.
It's going to be a gain of about 4. Will be a gain of 4 on the play. So 3rd and a mile for the Colonels here. S is going to come out in the gun. He's got no backs with him. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. Takes a snap, and he's going to be pressured right away and sacked right away. This one's going to go all the way back to the 3-yard line. So With 4:25 to go, Colonels will be trying to punt this out of the shadow of their own end zone. So that sack, big loss for the Colonels as they went from the 12 back to the 3. So 8-yard loss on the play. Carter Tipton had his foot on the back of the end zone. He catches it and punts it away. It's going to be fielded around the 30. He's going to come to his right and be tripped up. So Rebels will take over on the Bourbon County 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Leonard's going to come out under center on this one. Sends a man in motion. He's going to fake the handoff to him and then hand it off to the deep back, who was met right away but made Shamar Myers, I believe, just putting his foot in the ground, and Shamar wasn't able to make the adjustment. He does end up getting a 2-yard gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8 for the Rebels. Leonard going to come out under center. He's going to take the snap and pitch it to the running back, who goes around the left side. He's got some room there. Just ran down the backs of his blockers. It's going to be a 1st down as he gets this one all the way down to the 11-yard line, where it will be another 1st and 10 for the Rebels. On the carry was Landon Bartleson for the Rebels. And Lanter going to come out under center, hands it to the deep back. Again, this time he's going to be bottled up. And the ball comes out. It looks like it's still on the ground. It's still squirting out, and the Rebels pick it up and run it into the end zone. About 4 different Colonels players had a shot at the ball. All tried to dive on it. It squirted out of their grasp each time. And it's going to be number 15, Reese Smith, the do-all guy that I talked about, in for another touchdown for the Rebels, making the score 21-0. As Jackson Smith will be out to kick the extra point unless they go for 2 again. Cole Lanter. They have a offset extra point here that they then move into the regular PAT formation. Lanter going to get the hold. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So that makes your score with 2:41 to go in the first quarter. The Boyle County Rebels 22, Bourbon County Colonels 0. Set to kick the ball away for the Rebels is number 27, Jackson Smith. He's been a busy man early in this game as he's already kicked the ball away several times. Back deep to return for the Colonels, Heflin, AJ, and Bone. Smith will squib this one, and it's going to be fielded by AJ Joyce, as he bobbles it at first and picks it up around the 10, and he's going to be hit and stacked up around the 16-yard line. Looks like they will give him the 18, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Colonels. 2:34 to go in your first quarter. Also, just want to give a shout out to DAMON Plenty for the beats that I'm using on the broadcast. DAMON Plenty, aka M.A.N, as many people know him in Paris. Shout out to him for giving me some beats he created to use on the broadcast. So as the Colonels come out 1st and 10, they start with a delay of game. So already in the backward motion, it's going to push them back 5, where it will be 1st and 15 from the 18-yard line. S is going to come out in the gun. He's going to take the snap and hand it to the back right away, who is stacked up. That's going to be Landrum on the carry. Looks like they're going to say it's a loss of 2 on the play. So it will be 2nd and 17 for the Colonels from their own 13-yard line. It's just going to be in the gun. 2 running backs this time. He's going to take the snap. He's rolling out to his right. He's going to throw it out to his right and almost intercepted. A gift there. And as it went right through the fingertips, it's actually thrown directly to the Boyle County defender. And a gift there for Estes, as what should have been an interception is dropped for another incompletion. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 18 for the Colonels. Need to get the ball to the 28-yard line. So it's actually 3rd and 16 as they're on the 12. S is going to take the snap and throws this out right away. Batted down, but there is a flag on the play. Defender got his big mid up there and smacked that one down right away. There's a chop block on the Colonels. Penalty is declined. Brings up 4th and long for the Colonels. Carter Tipton set to punt the ball away for the Colonels. Back deep to return for Boyle County is Riley Kowick. And this is going to be a high punt. It's going to be fielded by Kowick outside the 40, and he's going to cut down the right sideline. He's got some men out in front of him, and he's met at the 3-yard line. Lowered his shoulder there. So Landrum on the tackle, a touchdown saving tackle, as Kowick gets the ball down to the 2-yard line. Will be 1st and goal from there. Lanter going to come out under center. Got a fullback and a deep back on this play. Looks like the Rebels are looking to the sideline. Little confusion here early. And Kowick, the missing man, now trots onto the field to line up out wide to the left. Lander going to take the snap, hands it to the deep back, and he's not going to get into the end zone. Gets about a yard. That's Sacco on the carry, but it is going to be short. Brings up 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line for the Rebels. Got 1:15 and counting to go in your first quarter. Lanter going to come out in the same formation. Turns around, hands it to Sacco again, and this time he will get into the end zone for another Boyle County touchdown. It's going to make your score 28-0 as the Rebels will attempt the extra point. And they'll come out in their unconventional extra point with the center, Cole Lanter, and then the kicker back behind him, everyone else out to the left. This is what they ran that 2-point conversion out of. Now they will shift to the conventional extra point formation as Lanter gets down to hold the extra point. And Jackson Smith sets to kick the extra point. Hold is good, kick is up, and the kick is good. Your score, 29-0. Boyle County out in front with 1:05 to go in the first quarter. Jackson Smith set to kick the ball away. He will kick this one over towards the right sideline. It's going to bounce right there, and Parker Estes will get on the football, as it looked as if the Colonels were just going to watch Boyle County come get it. But Bourbon County will take over 1st and 10 on what looks like it's going to be their own 35-yard line. So Bourbon County in serious need of some offense here. Down 29-0 in the first quarter. Talked about early how, and there was apparently a flag on the play, not sure the call, but the ball will be moved up to the 50-yard line where the Colonels will take over 1st and 10. So maybe if a gain here will put the Colonels in Boyle County territory for the first time today. Estes comes out in the gun. He's going to throw it out right away to A.J. Joyce. And just past him. There is a flag on the play. Probably a pass interference call here. A.J. had a step on the man. He reached out. The defender did reach out and grab him as he tried to run by there. Not much contact, but it was enough to keep him from getting to the ball, the refs said. So it will be a 15-yard penalty where the Colonels will move into Boyle County territory for the first time today. 1st and 10 from the Boyle County 35-yard line. Estes is going to come out in the gun. He's got 2 running backs in the backfield. He's going to hand it to the deep running back, who gets back to the line and nothing more. So that's Cameron Smoot on the carry. His 3rd carry of the game. Still no positive yards. Will be 2nd and 10 for the Colonels. So we get close to the end of the first quarter here. Estes is going to be in the gun. He's going to take the snap. Tries to throw it out right away, but it is broken up and batted down by one of the defensive linemen. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Colonels here. So the Boyle County defensive line getting pressure quickly as Estes is trying to get rid of the ball as quick as he gets it, but this defensive line just getting their hands up there and preventing any quick throws from happening. Estes is going to be in the gun once again. He's got three receivers out to his left, one to his right. He takes the snap. He's going to drop back. He's throwing it right. Had Heflin with a step on the man, but just threw it too far out in front of him. It's going to be incomplete. Brings up 4th and 10 for the Colonels from the Boyle County 35-yard line with 13.6 seconds to go here in your first quarter. So we'll see what the Colonels do here. They are going to go for it from the 35. S is going to be in the gun. Has Smoot back deep behind him in the backfield. 3 receivers out to his left, 1 to his right. Takes the snap. He drops back. And flag on the play. It's going to be a false start against the Colonels. So there was a late hit on the quarterback as well. Flag for that, probably going to be unsportsmanlike conduct. So we'll see what the final result is. So legal procedure on offense. So that's a 5-yard penalty. So there was indeed the personal foul against the defense as well. So a 5-yard penalty against the offense and then a 15-yard penalty against the defense should be a 10-yard gain for the offense, which would be a first down for the Colonels. 1st and 10 from the Boyle County 25-yard line. So S is going to be in the gun. Smoot back deep behind him. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. He's going to take the snap, drops back. He's now rolling to his left. He's going to throw it left and over the outstretched hands of A.J. Joyce.
Number 20, Will McDaniel with the coverage. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Will be 2nd and 10 for the Colonels here. 6.7 seconds to go in your first quarter. So this the biggest drive of the game for the Colonels, even though a lot of it has been on defensive penalties. Not only into Boyle County territory for the first time, but also a nice drive here if the Colonels can add some offense to it. S is going to roll out to his left. He's got a little bit of room, not much. It looks like he's going to get that one around the 20-yard line at the end of the first quarter.
At the end of the quarter, Boyle County leads 29-0.
So it will be indeed a gain of 5 to end the quarter. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5 from the Boyle County 20-yard line. Also the end of the first quarter. So your first quarter score, Boyle County 29, Bourbon County 0. S is going to take the snap and hands it off to Dylan Kirk, who Gets hit in the backfield, but runs through a couple of tackles. Looks like he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Play results, 4th and 5.
So no gain on the play. Brings up a 4th and 5 for the Colonels.
All Boyle County schools wish the Boyle County Rebels football team best of luck tonight against Bourbon County. Go Rebels.
So 4th and 5 from the Boyle County 20. Looks like the offense will stay on the field to go for it here. Bourbon County in desperate need of some points to try to close this gap. S is going to be in the gun. He's got Smoot back deep behind him. 3 receivers out in the formation. He's going to throw it out to his brother Parker, who makes the catch. Gain of about 3, but not enough for a first down. So it will be turnover on downs. Boyle County will take over. So Boyle County takes over this on their own 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Lander going to drop back right away. He's going to throw it out to Reese Smith, who catches it on the left sideline, makes some people miss, and he's finally brought down. Flag on the play. Does get the ball out past the 35 to the 36-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. We'll see what the call is. So it will be a 5-yard face mask penalty against the Colonels, which will move the ball to the 42-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Lander going to be in the gun. No running backs along with him. 3 receivers out to his right. He's going to throw it out right away. Who makes a low catch and then has plenty of space before he's finally brought down inside the Colonel's 35-yard line. That's going to be number 6, Cole Lanter, on the catch. Big gain for the Rebels. And Reed Lanter going to be in the gun by himself once more. He's going to throw it out left right away, this time to Reese Smith, who catches it. He's got some blocks out in front of him. He cuts back across the field to the middle, makes a man miss with a nice juke, and then is brought down from behind by Dylan Kirk. But he will get the ball down to the Bourbon County 14-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Lanter going to be in the gun by himself once again. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. He's going to throw it across the middle, and it is caught for another Rebel touchdown. And this one going to be Will McDaniel on the touchdown reception. So on for the extra point. Jackson Smith set to kick the extra point. Cole Lanter on the hold. Snap is good. Hold is down. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So that makes your score with 10:07 to go here in the second quarter. Boyle County 36, Bourbon County 0. Jackson Smith will be set to kick this ball away for the Rebels. Back deep to return for the Colonels is Heflin and A.J. Joyce. And this ball is going to be kicked into the end zone for a touchback. Colonels will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. And since the Rebels are up by 36 points, the running clock is now in effect in the first half of this ball game. Running clock now in effect. That running clock goes into effect whenever there is a 36-point deficit. So since the Rebels are up 36, running clock is indeed in effect. So we're at 9:20 and counting to go in your first half. That's just going to come out in the gun. He's got 2 backs with him. He's going to take the snap and throw it out to his left right away. Too low for Heflin to make the catch. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Colonels. That's just going to be in the gun here. 1 running back alongside him in the backfield. 2 receivers each way. He's going to take the snap, drops back. He's looking right and tries to fit the pass into his brother Parker. Incomplete there. Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Colonels. There was indeed good coverage by the Boyle County defenders. Clay tried to fit the ball into a tight window and just couldn't get it in there. Brings up this 3rd and 10. That's just going to be in the gun. He's got 1 running back beside him, 1 receiver to his left, 3 to his right. He throws it out to his left to A.J. Joyce, who makes the catch and makes a man miss, puts his foot in the ground and gets upfield, and he's turning on the wheels and tripped up around the 35-yard line. And A.J. Joyce, the man the Colonels count on game in and game out to make a big play, comes through almost a touchdown here if he wasn't tripped up. So that's going to be a gain of about 59 yards here for A.J. Joyce. That is Joyce's 2nd reception on the day. That's just going to take the snap. He's going to roll to his right. He's going to throw it, and incomplete off the hands of the intended receiver. Brings up 2nd and 10. There was actually a penalty on the play. And this turns out to be a huge penalty as it backs the Colonels all the way up to the 38-yard line. So a 1st and 28 to go here S is going to be hit right away. He does get the ball out to A.J. Joyce, who makes one man miss with the stiff arm before he is tackled on the 30-yard line. So a gain of 8 there on the play. And it's going to bring up 2nd and long for the Colonels. S is going to be in the gun. He's got Bone beside him in the backfield this time. He takes the snap, looks left, and throws it up as he is pressured. And incomplete as Heflin was not able to make an adjustment. That one was well over his head. Brings up 3rd and 18 for the Colonels from the Boyle County 30-yard line. 4:40 and counting to go in your first half. S is going to be in the gun. Bone beside him to his left. He's got A.J. Joyce out to the right, 3 receivers to the left. He drops back for the pass, makes one man miss, and then is brought down for the sack. That's going to be number 73, Wilson Kelly, on the sack. It's going to be a 7-yard loss on the sack. Brings up a 4th and a mile. So Carter Tipton will come on to punt this ball away. And now whistles blowing the play dead. And Bourbon County will take a timeout. With 3:44 to go in your first half, your score, Boyle County 36, Bourbon County 0. Tipton set to punt this ball away. We'll catch it on the 50, punts it away. It's a nice high punt. We'll bounce at the 15. We'll take a Colonel bounce from there. And the Colonels will touch it dead around the 7-yard line, where Boyle County will take over 1st and 10. It looks like they're going to start this one on the 8-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Reed Lanner going to come out in the gun. He's got one back alongside him to his right. He's got 2 wing backs now, both on the same side. He's going to hand the ball to the running back running to that side, and he will be brought down around the 15-yard line. It's going to be brought down by Cameron Boatwright. That was Sacco on the run for the Rebels. And Reed Lanter going to come out in the gun again. Got Sacco alongside him to his left. A wing back to both ways. Now he sends the left wing back to the right. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Sacco, who runs up the middle. and he's going to get this to the 24-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Lanter in the gun, Sacco to his right, 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to take the snap, drops back to pass. He's looking left, throws it over the middle, and had the man Reese Smith, but a good breakup there by Fidelis.
If the 3 of you could please make your way to the field.
Fidelis, some good coverage there on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Rebels. This time Lanter going to be in the gun with no backs alongside him. Takes a snap, drops back. He's pressured and then throws it over the middle to a wide open man. And he's brought down by A.J. Joyce on the 48-yard line, but will be another Rebel first down with a minute now to go in the half. Reed Leonard going to be in the gun. He's got McDaniel alongside him to his right. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. He takes the snap, rolls out to his right. He's looking, still looking. Tries to throw it along the right sideline, and a little bit too far for the receiver to make the catch. That looked like it was intended for Cole Lanter on the play. That incompletion brings up 2nd and 10, and Boyle County will call a timeout to stop the clock, as it is the running clock. They will have a timeout to stop the clock with 34.7 seconds to go in the half. And Lanter's going to come out in the gun. McDaniel alongside him to his left. 2 receivers each way. Takes the snap. He's going to drop back and throws it to McDaniel in the backfield, who's going to be brought down from behind by Myers.
Pass is complete to number 20.
But it will be right at the first down marker.
Brought down by number 54, Shamar Myers.
And they will say it is enough for a first down, I believe. Indeed, they will. Ball on the Bourbon County 41-yard line. Looks like Boyle County uses another timeout to stop the clock with 22.8 seconds to go here in the first half. Going to come out in the gun here with no backs. 3 receivers out to his right, 2 to the left. He's going to take the snap, drops back, and he's going to loft this one up in the air, and broken up by Kagan Heflin on the 5-yard line. Just tipped away by Heflin at the last second there, as Boyle County tried to get another score going into the half. Boyle County takes their last timeout to stop the clock here with 11.1 seconds to go in the half. They're going to be in the shotgun with no backs. 3 receivers to his right, 2 to his left. He's going to take the snap, throws it out right away. Has Reese Smith over there who catches it and puts his foot in the ground, makes a couple of people miss, cuts back across the middle, and he's going to be into the end zone for a Boyle County touchdown. Looked like he might have been tackled at the last second, but he stretches out, gets the ball across the plane, and scores yet again for Boyle County. And we have an official's timeout here. As the indication on the field was Reese Smith touchdown. And now the officials will talk it over. And looks like Smith down in the end zone. Hopefully the young man is okay, as he is one of the top players on this Boyle County team. And looks like he is now sitting up. And he is now up on his feet. He will be helped off the field. With a bit of a limp there.
And to attempt the extra point, number 27.
Hopefully the young man is okay. Looks like he's holding that left leg up, not trying to put any pressure on it. So again, hope that he is okay and not a serious injury, as this Rebels team does rely heavily on him, and they will need him in their playoff run. On to kick the extra point for Boyle County is Jackson Smith. This will be the last play of the second half. Hold is good. Kick is up. And the kick is good. So your score at halftime, Boyle County 43, Bourbon County 0. So I will leave you with some of M.A.N's beats that he has provided, and then I will come back and give you a statistical recap before we go into the second half here at Rebel Stadium. Your halftime score again, Boyle County 43, Bourbon County 0. As promised, we're about 4.5 minutes until kickoff for the second half. So, quick statistical recap. Bourbon County not able to do much of anything on the ground or through the air, as Boyle County is definitely holding serve here in the place they call Titletown, as between Boyle County and Danville, the crosstown rival school. Plenty of state championships in football, and they are flexing their muscle here tonight on senior night. Bourbon County struggling to do anything. Bourbon County has ran the ball 10 times, a total of negative 11 rushing yards. A couple of those are sacks on Clay Estes, which Clay Estes 4 carries, negative 8 yards. As I said, 2 of those are sacks. Dylan Kirk 1 carry for no yards. Kagan Heflin 1 carry for 4 yards. He is the only Colonel with positive rushing yards on the night so far. Cameron Smoot 3 carries for negative 5 yards, and LaDamian Landrum 1 carry, negative 2 yards. Clay Estes is also 4 for 17 in the air. That's a completion percentage of 23.5%. So struggling here in the rain to run the ball and complete passes are the Colonels. 73 passing yards on the game. Most of those are to A.J. Joyce, who has 3 receptions for 70 yards, one of them being that 59-yard reception that he was shoestring tackled to prevent him from scoring the touchdown. But that, other than that one play, the Colonels have not done much of anything. Parker Estes has the other completion, that 1 reception for 3 yards gained. And that is the Colonels' offense in a nutshell the first half. A total of 27 plays for 62 total yards on the first half. That is the Colonels' offense. Very little of anything, as I said, on the ground or through the air. This Boyle County defense keeping the Colonel offense at bay and shutting them down as they are moving the ball at will is Boyle County. For the Rebels, they have ran the ball 9 times for give me 1 second here. They have ran the ball 9 times for 125 yards. Has Boyle County. That was in the first quarter. In the second quarter, they ran the ball bear with me here as I'm trying to I do apologize. That was 110 yards gained on 9 carries in the first quarter. They had 2 carries in the second quarter for another 15, so 125 yards gained for the Rebels in the first half on the ground, 125 yards. They had through the air, they were 1 for 2 for 15 yards in the first quarter. In the second quarter, 7 for 10 for 152 yards. So 167 yards through the air and 115 on the ground is what the Rebels offense has. They have 11 first downs. They also had 4 penalties for 50 yards, did the Rebels. They had 1 fumble, but they did recover that. And they do indeed have that first half score of 43-0. So Boyle County flexing the muscle. As I said in the pregame show, going into this game this season, at this point in the season, a lot of people are talking about 3 teams when it comes to 4A. Boyle County, Johnson Central, and Franklin County. And Boyle County showing tonight against the Colonels that they are indeed one of the better teams in the state. Just having their way against the Colonels, offensively, defensively. Colonels can't really do anything. They can't move the ball Their one long drive that they've had was mainly by penalties against the Boyle County defense. Other than the one big play to A.J. Joyce, the Colonels' offense has done nothing to move the ball, very little of anything. Just to be blunt, they just can't move the ball against this Boyle County defense other than calling on A.J. Joyce to make a big play. If the Colonels want to get on the board and try to make this a close game, they're definitely going to need more offense than they've had in the first half. They're also going to have to slow this Boyle County attack down, as the Rebels have had their way offensively, defensively, special teams as well. The Rebels have pinned the Colonels back time and time again with their kickoffs, and then great punt returns. The few that they have returned have been great returns, as they returned one all the way to the 2-yard line, and then the others, Colonels just backed up too far to try to flip the field with a good punt. So second half, about a minute and a half away now, and we'll see if the Colonels can come out and try to get something going here offensively, defensively. Definitely need a big change in the way this game has been going if the Colonels want to try to even come back and make this a close game down the stretch here. It will be a running clock for the second half unless the Colonels make a great comeback. I've seen crazier things in football, but on this field, in the conditions, the cards are definitely stacked against the Colonels tonight. Will be a running clock, as I said, so unless they do make a great comeback, this second half will probably be a short one, as the only times the clock stops under the running clock regulations are scoring plays to after a touchdown, that change of possession kickoff, the clock stops for that, and then on timeouts. Any other time, the clock does run. So we'll see what the Colonels come out with in this second half, see if they can get some points on the board and try to make a run at this Rebels team on their senior night. We are now 10 seconds and counting away from your second half. So, the halftime is now over, awaiting the kickoff for the second half. Colonels will kick off to the Rebels to start the second half, as the Colonels got the ball first. This will be the first kickoff of the game since the Colonels have yet to score. This will be their first kickoff of the game. Carter Tipton teeing the ball up on the 40-yard line. And back deep to return for the Rebels. Looks like Cole Lanter, along with Riley Colwick and Gray Robiney. Tipton does kick the ball away. This one's going to be fielded on the 15-yard line. He's going to run it up the middle and then cuts out to the right, and he's got plenty of room. Carter Tipton, the only chance at him, and he's not going to catch him. And this is going to be Gray Robiney for another Boyle County touchdown to start the second half. So that makes your score right out the gate. Second half underway. Boyle County takes no time to get on the board yet again, making your score 49-0. Rebels on top, awaiting the extra point. And they're in their unconventional set. They will now move to the conventional set as Colenter drops back on a knee to hold the PAT attempt. Jackson Smith set to kick the extra point. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up. And kick is good. So your score, Boyle County 50, Bourbon County 0. Jackson Smith will set to kick this ball away. Back deep to return for the Colonels. Heflin and the Joyce cousins, Bone and AJ. And this ball is going to be kicked deep. It's going to be fielded by AJ Joyce at the 5-yard line. He's going to run up the middle. He then cuts out to the left a little bit. He's now going to make his way to the left sideline. He's got some room on the left sideline and going to jump over a man that was being blocked. He's still running, and a last-second block. AJ Joyce is going to take this to the house for a Colonel touchdown. Colonel's finally on the board. And no flags on the play. So A.J. Joyce with the 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Makes your score 50-6. So, as I said at halftime, if the Colonels need a play, they know who to call on. A.J. Joyce comes through yet again. So on for the extra point are the Colonels. And they will go for 2. That's just going to be in the gun. He's got Bone Joyce beside him to his right. A.J. Joyce by his lonesome to the left. 3 receivers out to the right. Clay going to take the snap. He rolls right. He's going to throw it right. And it's going to be picked off. And they will blow it dead and say that he cannot return it. That is number 9, Riley Kowick on the interception. So your score with 10:52 to go in the third quarter, 50-6. Boyle County on top. Tipton set to kick this ball away. And this one's going to be fielded around the 10-yard line. It's going to be ran to his left and then stacked up by a host of Colonel defenders. Return of about 3 yards there, where it will be 1st and 10 for the Rebels. So your second half opens with a Boyle County kickoff return for a touchdown, followed immediately by a Bourbon County kickoff return for a touchdown. And now after the third return, sequential return, rather, 3 kickoff returns back to back to back, Boyle County will have the first offensive play of the second half. We're going to come out in the gun. He's going to take the snap. He hands it off to the back. He's going to cut through the middle of the line, runs through a couple tackles, and then is brought down on the 30-yard line. It's going to be number 42, Jacob Graves, on the carry. Will be a 1st and 10 from the 30 for Boyle County on their own 30-yard line. And Cole Sims is in at quarterback. And with the Rebels, a huge lead. They're going to have their backups playing the rest of the way. Going to come out in the gun here is Sims. Got one running back to his left. He's going to take the snap, fakes their handoff there, and he's going to be brought down right away by Dylan Kirk for the sack. It's going to make it a 3rd and 11 for the Rebels. So a nice defensive play by Kirk there. And Sims by his lonesome in the backfield this time, and he's going to take the snap and throws it out to his left, but way over the head of the intended receiver. Incomplete there. Brings up 4th and 11 for the Rebels. And on the field to punt the ball away. I believe this may be the first punt of the game for the Rebels. So Jackson Smith set to punt the ball away. A.J. Joyce and Kagan Heflin back to return for the Colonels. And Smith will punt this one high into the air. It's going to be fielded by Joyce, or not fielded actually. He tried to field it, did not call for the fair catch. A.J. Joyce, he was hit right away. Ball popped out. We'll wait to see who recovered it. And it will be Braden Frederick on the recovery for the Colonels to take over 1st and 10. And I apologize. It looks like Boyle County did actually recover the muffed punt. So Boyle County, a big hit on A.J. Joyce there. Yeah. May have tried to do a little too much. Probably should have called for the fair catch. Did not do so. Boyle County will have the ball 1st and 10 on the Bourbon County 22-yard line. Got 6:47 and counting to go. As I said at halftime, is still a running clock, so the only time it will stop is after scoring plays for the kickoff and timeouts. And Sim's going to be in the gun. He's got one running back to his right, 2 receivers each way. He's going to take the snap, hands it to the running back, who's met right away in the backfield. It's going to be Dylan Kirk on the stop. Tackle for loss there by Kirk. A loss of 3 yards. Pushes the ball back to the 25-yard line, where it will be 2nd and 13 for the Rebels. Sims in the gun. Same formation as last time. He's going to take the snap. Hands it off to the back once again. This time he's got some room up the middle. He's dancing now and finally brought down inside the 15-yard line. Looks like the 13 is where he'll get the ball to, which is going to be just short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 1 now. Shamar Myers on that tackle from behind. So now Boyle County sets up for the 3rd and 1. Sam's going to be in the gun. He's got one back to his right, 2 receivers each way. Takes the snap, hands it to the back, and he's going to be met in the backfield right away. He's not going to get this first down, as he was only able to get back to the 15, not even back to the line of scrimmage. So it will be 4th and 3 for the Rebels offense. And the Rebels will send on the field goal formation. Jackson Smith on to kick the field goal. And Cole Lanter on to hold. This is going to be a 32-yard attempt from the left hash. Snap is good, hold is down, and the kick is up and looks good, but it was blown dead before the play. We do have penalty against the Rebels, so it's going to push them back 5 more. So now it will be a 37-yard attempt instead of a 32. Still from the left hash here. Balls, snaps good. Balls held down. Kick is up, and kick is good. So with 3:53 to go in the 3rd quarter, your score, Boyle County 53, Bourbon County 6. And a new kicker on here for the Rebels to kick this ball away. It's going to be number 18, Cooper Brummett, the freshman. And he's going to onside kick this. It's going to bounce off of the hands of Fidelis, who then grabs it. He's going to head out to the left sideline. He's got some room there, and he's going to get this into Rebel territory at the 44-yard line, where the Colonels will set up 1st and 10 with 3 minutes to go in your 3rd quarter. So we'll see if the Colonels can get some offense going here to just have something to build on. This is going to come out in the gun. He takes the snap and throws it out right away to Landrum. It is going to be complete, but it will be a loss of a yard on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 11. Will actually be a loss of 2 on the play. And on second down, Estes will throw again. This one's jumped up and caught by A.J. Joyce.
Pass is complete to number 3, M.A.N. Joyce. Brought down by number 28.
And that's going to be a gain of
Brings up 3rd and 12.
gain of 3 on the play, so it will be 3rd and 9. Estes will throw again here, and this one's going to be incomplete. Should have been intercepted there, truth be told, but defender just drops the ball.
That brings up 4th down.
So 4th and 9 here for the Colonels. That's just going to be in the gun. He's got one back behind him. A.J. Joyce to the left, 3 receivers out to the right. He's going to take the snap. He drops back. He's looking right. Now he's going to run. And he had a little room, but that room was closed up quickly. It's going to be a gain of 4. Actually, a gain of 5, but not enough for the first down. So that will be turnover on downs. Boyle County will take over 1st and 10, and that will also be the end of your 3rd quarter. So Boyle County will take over on their own 38-yard line. 1st and 10 with your score going into the 4th. Boyle County 53, Bourbon County 6. So Rebels going to come out in the gun here on this 1st down play. Sims has one back beside him to his left. He's going to take the snap. It's snapped over his head here, and he is able to get on it. But it's going to be a huge loss for the Rebels offense. So they will go from the 38 back to the 20-yard line. So a loss of 18 yards there for the Rebels on that bad snap. Will bring up a 2nd and 28 for the Rebels. And another bad snap. This time so Shamar Myers this time on the recovery on the 1-inch line. If he would have let the ball bounce a little bit further, would have had technically a scoop and score there. But will be 1st and goal for the Colonels from the 1-inch line. So Shamar Myers, for those that don't know, is my little brother. So good job, Shamar, on the fumble recovery there. If he would have just let it bounce a little bit more, could have had his first career touchdown. But nonetheless, big play for Samar Myers. Hopefully the Colonels can capitalize and put some more points on the board. First and goal from the 1. S is going to come out in the gun. He's got 2 backs. He's going to hand it to the deep back, which is Kirk, who's met right away. He spins off of the contact and rolls into the end zone for the second Colonel touchdown of the game. So Colonels do indeed capitalize on the Boyle County miscue, making the game a little bit closer. So the Colonels will come out for the extra point. And Carter Tipton will be kicking this extra point. And hold is good. Kick is up and kick is good. So with 9:21 to go in your ball game, your score, Boyle County 53, Bourbon County 13. And as I'm looking here trying to find a score update, I know by the time you guys watch this game, you'll probably already know the score. As I continue to search, I will update you when I find it, trying to look to see what's going on between Anderson County and Lexington Catholic, as that game is the other district game. If Lexington Catholic wins, they will be the 2 seed in the district, and Bourbon will be the 3. Carter Tipton's kick is going to be fielded at the 10-yard line. He's going to run up the middle, makes one man miss, then another, runs through a couple more defenders before he is brought down on the 30-yard line. That's going to be number 13, Owen Barnes, on the return. So Boyle County will set up on their own 31-yard line is the spot where they will have first and 10. Sim's going to be in the gun. He's got 1 back alongside him. He's going to take the snap. This time they do get the snap. He's going to hand off to his back, who is tripped up from behind by Dylan Kirk. Will be a gain of 2 on the play to the 33. Brings up 2nd and 8. So Sims' second down play is going to throw it incomplete along the right sideline.
Number 13, Heflin with the coverage.
Intended for Will Alexander. Heflin on the coverage there for the Colonels. And on third down, Sims will hand it to his running back, who makes a few people miss. He's still going and gets out past the first down marker to the 43-yard line, which will be good enough for a Boyle County first down. So first and 10 from their own 43-yard line for the Rebels. And on first down, it's going to be handed to the deep back, who is stood up right away by Shamar Myers. And Shamar Myers with the initial hit. A nice pop there on the ball carrier in the backfield. Going to be a loss of 2 on the play. And this pass on second down going to be incomplete.
Pass intended for number 86.
It's going to be intended for Alex Patton on the play. Bone Joyce on the coverage there. And the breakup for the Colonels. So, score update, Lexington Catholic 49, Anderson County 0. And another fumble by Sims. This time, Shamar Myers. Shamar scoops it up and tries to take off with it. Returns it for about 5 yards before he's brought down from behind. Colonels will take over 1st and 10 on the Boyle County 34-yard line. So another fumble recovery for Shamar. Sets up 1st and 10 for the Colonels. As I was saying, that score update, Lexington Catholic 49, Anderson County 0. That is in the 4th quarter, so looks like the Colonels will be traveling to Lexington Catholic in that first round of the playoffs. Estes going to come in the gun, takes the snap, he drops back. He's going to throw it outright. A nice ball and off the fingertips. Off the fingertips of A.J. Joyce there. Couldn't bring it in. We'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line. Said the 34 before. Sorry about that. Looking at the wrong yard line on the field. It is indeed the 29-yard line where the Colonels have it. 2nd and 10. That's just going to be in the gun. He's got Landrum behind him. 3 receivers outright, 1 to the left. He's going to take the snap. He drops back. He's looking right. He's going to throw it outright. And incomplete, intended for Heflin. Double coverage there. Not able to get that completion in. So we'll bring up 3rd and 10 from the 29 for the Colonels. So Boyle County will be the district champions after this game. Lexington Catholic will finish 2nd, Bourbon County 3rd, and Anderson 4th. So with the 3rd down play, Estes comes out in the gun. He's going to take the snap, drops back. He's looking left. He's now going to scramble left, and he's going to throw it left. Had Heflin behind the defense, but overthrows it. Incomplete, brings up 4th and 10 for the Colonels. So with the new playoff format, and there's a holding on the play as well on the Colonels. That's going to back them up. So unless it is declined, we're waiting, and it will be marked off. So it will be 3rd and 20. Actually, it'll be more than that because it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So going to be a 3rd and very long here. It goes actually all the way back to the Colonels' 48-yard line. So this is a 3rd and 33 for the Colonels. S is going to take the snap, throws it out to A.J. Joyce on the right side, who puts his foot in the ground and tries to make somebody miss, but is brought down. It's going to be a gain of about 5 yards on the play. Brings up a 4th and very long for the Colonels. $140 and counting to go in the ball game. Colonels will go for it on 4th down. Don't really have much to lose at this point. That's just going to be in the gun. He's got 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right, 1 running back. Takes a snap. He drops back, and he's going to be sacked by number 78.
36.
That is Jackson Webb on the sack. So Boyle County takes over 1st and 10 in the Colonel's territory. A minute and counting on the clock. Now inside a minute to play in the game. So Boyle County handling business here tonight. They're going to move to 9-0 on the season. Colonels will fall to 4-5. Colonels will also fall to 1-2 in district play. Boyle County will be 3-0. As I said, Lexington Catholic with the win over the Colonels. And Anderson County tonight moves to 2-1 with their 1 loss coming to Boyle County. Anderson County 0-3 in district play. And Boyle County will kneel on the play here to end the game. So with 22 seconds, that's going to be your last play of the ball game. Final score in this one's going to be Boyle County 53, Bourbon County 13. So, as I said, final score is going to be 53 to 13. Boyle County comes out on top. They show here tonight what a lot of people thought they would show. Many people predicted this one would be a blowout, as Boyle County has done for most of the season. They've beat just about every team they've played very easily. They do that again tonight. Moved to 9-0 on the season. 1 game away from a perfect season is Boyle County. There's only 3 teams going in tonight. There was 3 going into tonight. There was 3 teams that were undefeated. Boyle County being one of those. Johnson Central and Franklin County. Your 3 teams in 4A that were undefeated. Boyle County very much in contention for Chuck Smith's first 4A state championship. And we'll see if that quest can continue. Hopefully, the young man, Reese Smith, did not have a serious injury, as he is one of their top contributors and will be needed in the playoff run for the Rebels. For the Colonels, they are now 4-5 on the season, 1-2 in district play. They will be the 3 seed in the district with the new district format, or the new state playoff format rather. No longer are districts paired where one district's 1 seed plays another district's 4. It is rather the district has to beat the other teams in the district to move on. So the first round of the playoffs, Boyle County being the 1 seed will host Anderson County, and that first round of the playoffs will be in 2 weeks. Bourbon County your Colonels will travel to Lexington Catholic for that first round playoff matchup in 2 weeks to try to get some revenge from that bad game last week at Bourbon County on senior night. The Colonels will have 1 more regular season game. That's going to be at Taylor County next Friday down in Campbellsville. Barring, unless Taylor County's athletic director doesn't allow me to do so, I will be there calling that game. Hopefully I will be able to live stream it for you. If not, I will record it and upload it after the game, just as I'm doing tonight for this one. Right now on the season, going into tonight, Taylor County was 6-2. They were playing away at Adair County tonight. So give you more stats on that one before the game next week. But as for now, the Colonels drop a game on the road at Boyle County on senior night, 53-13. Now 4-5 on the season. And for the Bourbon County Colonels, this is Jordan Taylor signing off.